Hey, this is Matt once again. What about in the videos is that a paid request for Ryan. Thank you so much, Ryan. I appreciate it. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics, reactions, re-reviews, video game stuff, whatever the case may be, feel free to play it. Feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Links are down below in the info box. If I learn how to talk, yeah, play me. Yeah, you play me like a fiddle. You pay me too. I'll be a hooker. Well, I'll be a hooker. Why not? Okay, I'll be that too. But this is for The Simpsons, Season 6, Episode 6. In particular, Treehouse of Horror 5. And this actually involves my all-time favorite segment in all of the Treehouse of Horror episodes. And that is The Shinning. Their take on The Shining. Because I'm a big fan of The Shining. I love the voice actor Dan Castellaneta as Homer. Getting a bit of that Jack Nicholson vibe. I think the way the music is showcased, try to have a bit of that Shining vibe. Some of the shots are pretty good looking. But I like the other two stories as well. Easily one of my favorite Treehouse of Horror episodes. Perhaps my favorite. I mean, he's got my favorite segment, and I do like the other two. But I don't know how Treehouse of Horror episodes are nowadays, to be fair. Like the past, probably the past 10 years, I haven't seen a single one of them, so I don't know how they're worked on now. I don't know how they're incorporated into the show. Because back in the day, they would have someone come up and introduce it. Like, I know one had Homer Simpson come out like he was Alfred Hitchcock. And it's the characters introducing what you're about to see. It seems like after a while they stopped doing that and they just got into the show. They thought, oh, this is a waste of time. But I thought it was kind of a nice little quirk to have one of the characters introduce. Like in this case, Bart is warning the audience if that, oh, it's so scary, we don't have to show this other movie. We can't show you the episode. So I like that with Marge. And then I like that they do a bit of the Outer Limits. They have the lines, and then Homer is watch it. I can see my voice on TV. And Bart's like, Dad! The Outer Limits thing, the lines going up when you talk. And then the tombstones. God, I forgot about the tombstones. Because after a while, they got rid of the tombstones where they would show tombstones and they would show like little nuggets of jokes. In one of them, it was like canceled TV shows. In this case, it was going through the tombstones, but then here's some, Principal Skinnergan's head cut off and all stuff like that. It has pretty bloody, gruesome stuff on these Halloween episodes. And then you get into the three segments. The Shinning one, I love the way that's done, top to bottom. I love the introduction of the winding road and the music trying to be a bit of that shining music. And then the days, but then he forgot to lock a door, so he goes back, then it's Tuesday. They forgot to lock another door, goes back, it's Wednesday. And then Lisa's like, oh, we left Grandpa at the gas station. And then as they pull on just this off the cuff, Lisa going, what about Grandpa? Just how sincere she is about that. And just the rest of the family just don't give a shit because it's been like 3-4 days in this car now. And they actually do a follow-up on that. Because Grandpa eventually does arrive. In a funny little gag. And they have references to the movie. The elevator blood. Blood coming out of the elevator. The father getting more crazy. The Shinning. Oh, you mean Shining? Shh, you want to get sued? I always thought that was a funny joke. I pretty much Burns and Smithers, they have this place. You're going to be the new caretaker. Burns takes away TV and beer because that way they don't work more productively. And Smithers is like, well, do you think maybe this is why they go crazy? Hey, you know what? If we come back and they're dead, I owe you a Coke. I like Dan's voice acting in this as Homer. No TV and no beer make Homer do something, something. And Marge is like, go crazy? Don't mind if I do. Or when he's doing the give me the bat, give me the bat, give me the bat, give me the bat, do. I like they incorporate Mo as the bartender ghost. Oh, you be happy, dead. You don't look happy. Oh, see, yeah, I'm happy. La 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 la, freaking la. Now, go kill your family so I give you some beer. And there's some very nice creative choices in this. Watching it, for example, the flip on the typewriter sequence, where in the movie, Shelley Duvall looked and he typed page after page after page. But then they have this nice camera angle and Marge coming up, and it just says feeling fine. But then the lightning hits, and just the way this camera turns and this glow on her face, and how Homer wrote on all the walls. In a way, that, I mean, that would actually kind of work in a movie. You have to get to the logic of it has to be so dark that she doesn't notice the walls at all, but maybe if the power's out and she just has a lighter or something, maybe, I don't know. But it was a nice reveal. And just seeing that he's gone so crazy, he's read on all the walls, the ceiling, the floors, everything. I thought that was a nice reveal. And another thing is that they have Willie, the groundskeeper. There's a running motif in this episode where each segment he comes in to try to save the day. He always is killed with an axe. Whether Skinner, principal, kills him in the third one, with the school, this Homer does. Is that the best you could do? It's fun. Watch it again. It does seem like what Mike Myers did with Shrek sounds very similar to this character. And there's some nice angles, like when they're in the snow, and these angles, and Homer's got the axe coming towards them. I do love the takeoff. Here's Johnny, but it's the wrong room. Here's David Letterman. And then there's Grandpa. Hey, David, I'm Grandpa. Here's your 60 minutes. And finally, he gets a little TV from Willie. Urge to kill, fading, rising, fading, gone. And they're frozen. And now it's like the shitty award show. Urge to kill, rising. I mean, I guess other than the groundskeeper getting killed, I was almost going to say this could work as part of the actual show. But again, if Homer had not murdered groundskeeper Willie, maybe it could have. Because, hey, Grandpa is still there. Grandpa unfreezes them. Homer is given the TV. They go home. Continue the show as usual. But let's say I like the way it's directed. It went at a good pace. Didn't overstay its welcome. Has enough Shining references to make it worthwhile to be called, but at the same time, some very genuinely funny jokes. And like I said, some nice, for its time, animation bits. I didn't like the reveal of the room, no TV and no beer, all the writing. Very fun episode. Very fun segment, I should say. I also like the second one, Time and Punishment, where all out of the blue, this toaster gets stuck in Homer's hand, and he breaks it, then he fixes it. And I don't know how the hell he fixed it to this extent. That looks like something from Star Trek inside it. So he tests it, and when he tests it, he goes back to the land of the dinosaurs. It goes through the butterfly effect. I do like the line where he's like, so, oh my god, dinosaurs, when they wasn't just confined to zoos. Where that came from, I don't know. And then he's like, okay, don't do anything wrong. Don't do anything wrong. Oh, you annoying bud. You go swish now. Oh, hey, it's just a bud. I mean, it's just a bud. That won't affect anything, right? I do like this creature. I don't know what the creature's supposed to be, but it's this creature that passes by as Homer's freaking out, and the creature goes, like, I don't know. That was just so subtle that it made me chuckle. I like seeing the different alterations, what he keeps going back to his present time, back to the future. Like Flanders is the master of the world, and they're forced to smile, and Homer's like, what the hell are you smiling at? He goes back to change it. He's avoiding it, and he accidentally sits on a fish. I love the line reading. I think the line reading is very well done because it's just so sad and solemn. Oh, I wish I hadn't killed that fish. He's very sincere in his sadness on that. And when he goes back, now it's him in his house, but everybody else are giants. And then when he goes back, he sneezes and he kills all the dinosaurs, and he goes back, and it's perfection. It's literally his perfect life. He's rich, his kids are polite, Patty Selmer are dead. Now, they don't know what a donut is, and he freaks out and he leaves, but it's such a tragic bit where as soon as he leaves, the family turns and it's raining donuts. And they go, oh, it's raining again. The fact that if he had stayed 10 more seconds and it rains, and then just the fact that Homer's like, wait, your rain is donuts? That fucking tragedy of it all, man. Now, that makes me wonder what a world would be that rains donuts. You know what? I mean, it'd be fattening, but I was going to say it would kind of cure hunger. I mean, it'd be fattening, wouldn't be nutritious to be fair, but you'd be able to eat something. Maybe a lot more of the diabetes in the world, but maybe less hunger. But how would you clear all those donuts if it rains? I guess, I don't know, bulldozer or something? I don't know. Anyway, but then he gets back, and the transition of the houses, as in one time it's underwater, one time it changes all these different weird versions of the house. Although one nitpick is that only that house changes. There's a wide shot. None of the houses around change. I thought they could put a little bit more money into having all the other houses change. The fact that it's just that one house, but every house around stays the same, I thought loses a little bit of the effect of the joke. It would have been nice if, like, if you have the house, like, everything else changes as well. I think that would have been more effective as the joke, as the dad, but that's just me. And he comes back, and it seems like his normal life. They just have extended tons, and Homer's like, good enough. So actually, it's a happy ending in a way. Yeah. Because a lot of these don't have happy endings. And the third one is like one of the more kind of creepy, scary ones of the whole show, in my opinion. Just the idea that the school has way too much overcrowding and detention. They have really bad food that they're delivered, junk. So there's this bully named Jimbo, and stuff gets spilled on him, and Skinner, and ultimately they kill him, grind him up, feed him to the teachers. Teachers go, wow, this tastes good. And then, wait a minute, you killed Jumbo? And, And now the teachers have a plan. If you're getting a detention, you don't get killed, you don't get made into food, you don't feed it to not only yourself, but to the kids. And now it's just like Ooter, which was a character that was in, I don't know when they stopped using that character, but he was in it for a little bit. character, I believe, from Germany, I believe, Uter. And they serve food to the kids and the teachers. And until ultimately there's barely any kids left. And just like some images of like the lunch lady with this thing that's like a chainsaw. And got blood all over her, and Skinner just coming down on the kids, and Millhouse gets killed, and the kids are ready to die, and then but it's a nightmare. Only for something more horrible to happen. I wouldn't say I got a lot of laughs out of the episode. It's just more horrific compared to the others. I would say I got more laughs of the other two, but I appreciate this in the more horrific aspect. And Bart wakes up and it was a nightmare, but then there's this fog that turns people inside out. All the fog seeping in. This damn cheap Homer yelling at the thing, and their skin goes inside out. It's very horrific to look at, but hey, they leave you with a dance number. And I'm surprised watching again that the dog is looking at them and attacks Bart. And Bart gets dragged away. Because I think if that same thing was done nowadays, it easily would have been Homer. Oh, we can't pick on a kid, and we can't drag a kid screaming and bleeding along off screen. And Homer Simpson's the punching bag. So, I actually commend them that they picked Bart Simpson to do that. People forget back to the day Bart Simpson was the star of the show. I think some people do forget that aspect. Ultimately, it became Homer Simpson, the Homer Simpson show. But yeah, back in the day, Bart Simpson, that's why they had Do the Bartman and those type of songs. That's why he was the star of a lot of the video games, especially for Nintendo. Bart vs. Space Mutants, Bart vs. the World. That's why they would have these phrases like "don't have a cow, man" and all this other stuff back in the day. Ay caramba. All these t-shirts, even bootleg t-shirts, merchandise. Very heavily Bart, and now not really the case. I wonder if anyone's ever asked the makers of this show about that transition. Wonder how she didn't pay a lot of money, so I'm sure she's fine with it, but what Nancy Cartwright thinks of, the show used to be about about Bart, and then became more about Homer. She probably doesn't care, but just sort of curiosity. But yeah, the very fun episode. It was great to watch this again, so thank you so much for that, Ryan. And thank you all for watching. I would say if people like, well, what's a Treehouse of Horror episode I should start with? I would say with this one. If you watch this one and some of the other early ones, which I do think they're the better ones. Now, I can't speak for the past 10 years, but I just meant like, there's some fun stuff, but like the later seasons that I saw, they were fun enough, but they weren't as memorable compared to these. But that's just me. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.